Hello, people. I'm going to present now my oral report. The school I observed is considered the central one in Porto Alegre, a public and big school which encompasses since kindergarten A and B until magisterial. But this last one is at the fight to not be extinct by the measure nowadays. Politics aside, the school is a building of 3 floors and has a well-sized external area with a football field. Although the school faced tough troubles with raining inside the third floor for years, until it finally got fixed some years ago. The library of the school is amazing, with an ample space, enriched and made alive by events all the year, as the literary contest for the students who write poetry and prose, with cash prizes included. The library also hosted an intercultural party for Venezuelan students to feel welcomed in their new country. The school have a music class with a variety of instruments, included a piano, which youngest children adores. The school also has ceramic classes open to the community on Fridays and counts with a real ceramic kiln. Last years, the school had to organize the teachers, students, and community to face the aim of having the offer of nighttime high school closed. I chose some pictures took at the time to illustrate this political battle. I observed classes of 7th and 8th years of elementary education. The English teacher is young and new at school. It's her first time as a civil servant in the education field of town hall. The groups had around 13 to 18 students each. The higher the grade, the lower the number of students in the class. I observed classes in the afternoon shift. The school have some resources such as blackboard and markers, and Chromebooks were also used. There were a bunch of them. The lesson plans I observed in the practice varied in methodologies, from groups research about a cryptid which the students could choose based on their preferences. In this specific class, they used the Chromebooks to make their research, until the bingo game with English words, which really engaged the students and they had a great time. In another class, there was created mental maps as a warming up tool to talk about our neighborhood and its characteristics in English, which was really efficient for vocabulary expansion. In one 7th grade class, there was a student in the autism spectrum disorder, Miguel, who had no inclusion agent along with him to accompany and in some way include him in the content of the class. He was kind of lost in the class, walking from one direction to another in the back of the room. After observing the 7 hours of English classes, I recognized a TBL-inspired activity in which students had to lead their research that would end up in an oral exposure to the class. In this activity, we could see the protagonism being stimulated and valued. This type of class worked better with an 8th grade header than with the 7th, who demonstrated this organization in using the internet for research and not for social media. The class based in the bingo game was a great method for remembering vocabulary already studied in previous classes. In this class, students had to know all the words of their table to make bingo. Meanwhile, the teacher said the words in Portuguese. I didn't see any class based on listening or speaking, and I assume it may be more difficult to engage students in these kinds of classes, mostly because of shame or insecurity. I didn't see a class based on developing reading skills. No genre of literature or real material was brought to the students to practice reading the language. On the other hand, the school has a project called Parada Literária, in which one day per month, everyone in the school must stop during a whole period to read a book. I believe that more content could have been explored in class instead of just a few words related to a topic, in that case neighborhood, that was brought to them. I don't know if students were underestimated, but I truly believe they have capacity to be demanded more. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to see any kind of assessment being done to analyze.